Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are new, if you're a returner, thanks for coming back. This video has been requested a fair few times. I don't have a massive amount of tattoos, but I do have some. And how many have I actually got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I've got 13 tattoos. And I've had quite a few people that have obviously seen my videos say we would love a video for, where you explain and show your tattoos. So I didn't think it would be that interesting, but I had another one recently. So I thought, you know what, let's just do one. Let's just do a tattoo one. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show my tattoos in the order that I had them and roughly when I had them done. So nothing is exact date-wise. I'm just guesstimating. And how long each one took. Again, not an exact, but, as close as I can remember. So, I hope everybody is well. I am in my lounge because the lighting in my bedroom is absolutely shocking. It's not the best here. I used to have a ring light, but my dog chewed through it and I just haven't invested in another one. So, so I just make do with the light that I've got. So, tattoos. I was quite late into getting tattoos. I say quite late. I was 21 when I got my first one, and it was a tiny little, well, I say tiny, it was about that big. It was on this arm, and it was tribal. It was just a tribal symbol, so it was like a heart, but then tribally things going through it on this arm. And I had that done when I was 21. So that would have been 81, 91, 2001, so about 2002-ish. And so I literally just had a little one here. So that was my first one. And I paid £40 for that one. And it took about 30 minutes to do. That one's not there anymore. That one's been covered. Hey! Stop chewing. I've got my daughter's rabbit out. And he's very fond of chewing the carpet. So that was that one. I can't show you because it's been covered. But what it's been covered with is my next one, which was my fairy. So this is my fairy tattoo. I saw the picture in a magazine, I think, and I just fell in love with the picture. So I gave it to the tattooist and I said, is there any way you can make this so it's not exactly the same? Because I didn't want to copy somebody else's work, but similar. What are you doing? Look at this rabbit. You're not going behind the sofa? He's a cheeky little boy. Anyway, yes, so this is it. Again, the lighting is absolutely shit, but that is her. I love her. Can't really see, but the stockings, her little outfit is purple. She's got purple hair. And this was done back in 2005. We're now 2025, and I've got purple hair. I've had purple hair for about 5 years, but it was as if I knew I was going to go purple. Don't know. Or it's just always been a fantasy. I've always wanted purple hair, maybe. But yeah, so that is her. She took 4 hours and I had it done in 2 sittings. Because it was my first one, or my first big-ish one, he did the outline first. And that took 2 hours. And then I went back and it took just under 2 hours to do the colour, if I remember rightly. But he still charged me for the 2 hours. What are you doing? You cannot climb the curtain. You're going to hurt yourself. Anyway, so that is my fairy. I love her. She is 20 years old. Am I right? 2005. Yeah, she's 20 years old. And I think she still looks good. Yeah, I like her. I will just show the only issue. I'm not, and I noticed this straight away. I don't know if you can see. See her hand, the one with the tattoo, looks fine, but her other hand looks a bit webbed. So I wasn't keen on that, but I love her. She was my first proper tattoo. So, and like I say, she covered the tribal symbol that I had. So that is her. The next one I had done was at the same place, but they had a trainee in. So obviously the tattoos are discounted. So I had a lotus flower done. And it's this one. And I paid £30 for this one. And it took her about, I don't know, 45 minutes, maybe an hour. In the original design, it did have these dots that go all the way up here, and then some more dots and some more dots. But I didn't want that. I literally just wanted this. So, so I paid £30 for that. The line work is a bit chunky, but I still like it. And it's not showing up very well, but it is black and purple. So we can see a theme here. I like purple. So that was that one, and I had that one done in 2007. Then I had one done on my back, which is my kids' names. Now, I don't know how well you're going to see this because I haven't got eyes at the back of my head, but I'm going to try and show you it as best as I can. So if I sit here, I don't know how this is going to work. Not very well. Is that showing? So it says Dylan and Jasmine. And my favourite flowers are lilies. So if I remember rightly, it's lilies. I can't see the back of my... Yeah. So that is that one. And I had that one done in 2010. So that was a year after my daughter was born. So I already had my son. But when I had my daughter, and I knew that was going to be it, I wasn't going to have any more children, I was like, right, perfect time to get a tattoo. So that is that one. I hope you could see it. Yeah. And I think that one took about 2 hours. And again, that was in the same tattoo parlour. The chap that did that is the same one that did that. Yeah. So that is those. Then I had my first bigger one done, and it was a mermaid. And I had this one done in 2 sit-ins. I had 3 hours, which is her doing all the line work, some of the shading. And then I went back again and had the other 2 hours to have all the colour done. So I'm going to have to take my trousers off for this so I can show you. So this, how am I going to do this? So this is my mermaid. Again, purple hair. So we've got a theme going on, like I said before. Blue tail, blue bikini. I love all the little bubbles. And yeah, I'll try and bring you in a bit more so you can see her. So this is my tattoo. So I absolutely love her. So yeah, she took 5 hours. And that was my first one at the place where I've got the rest of my tattoos done. So all the other ones now are by the same person, apart from some I had done by a trainee, which I'll show you in a minute. So Mermaid, 2 sittings. I had that done in 2014. So she is 11 years old now. Then I had my other thigh done with a witch. Now, the Mermaid was a design that I wanted. I picked the picture and then I got her to do it in her own, you know, how she wanted to do it, to make it her own. So that was the Mermaid. The witch, on the other hand, she does a lot of her own pictures. You know, she draws them herself, and then they're one-offs, and she'll only do a tattoo once. She hasn't got like folders that you can say, oh, can I pay to have that one, please? Can I pay to have that? Everything is unique. Everything she'll only do once. Even if somebody takes in a picture, just in case it is exactly the same as somebody else's, she'll put her own stamp on it. So, yeah, so the witch one is one of hers, and she does them slightly cheaper because it's one of hers, and she charges you a one-off price. So however long it takes her to do it, you get charged a one-off price. Yeah. So the witch I'm now going to show you. So it's on my other leg. So this is her. I will show you a bit closer. So she's got blue and pink hair. So yeah, so that is her. She was also done in 2 sittings. I did a 3-hour, and then I think it was another 3-hour one. It could have been 2.5. But that was my, 3 to do all the outline and everything. And then I went back and it was between 2.5 and 3 to get the colour done. So 3 hours is my maximum that I can cope with for a tattoo. When I had my Mermaid done and I had the outline done, by the time the 3 hours was up, the last sort of half an hour, I just found absolute agony. So yeah, I had it in my head no more than 3 hours. So so my witch was that, and she was done. So my Mermaid was done in 2014. Witch was done in 2015 by the same girl. Then I had my Moth or butterfly done here. This one took her, I don't know, 1.5 hours, maybe 2 hours to do. This was done back in about 2016. But again, I just love all the colours. The colours are I've kept all the colours very similar in all my tattoos. So yeah, my niece has got a lot of tattoos. If you want to see it a bit closer. My niece has got a lot of tattoos, but hers are all black and shaded, whereas I like colour. So, and I'm showing you, obviously, in the order that I got them done. So that was my Moth. Then I had some names done on my wrist. The Moth was another one of hers. It was her design. I seen it. It was a one-off piece, and yeah, I was like, I really want that one done. So yeah, so the Mermaid I picked, but she just changed it up. The Witch and the Moth were hers. Where am I at? Oh, names. I've got my partner's name. Oh, there, Wes. And then I've got my sister, Bex. And I've got my other sister. She's called Leonie, but I always call her Lala. Now, Bex and Lala, and my partner, Wes. But they are, if I ever go through my... I suffer with depression and anxiety. And if I get really low, I know I can call on them. And they are amazing. They, you know, they come out and they see me. And, you know, we're super duper close. Yeah. And when I had my last really, or one of my low ebbs, like the bad ones, because I've had a few, when I got through it, that is when I had the names tattooed on. I say bad one. This was before my worst one. I had an even worse low since this, but yeah, so there's Wes, Bex, and Lala. So, and they were done in 2016. Then we went on to my dragon. Now, this is my biggest piece. Again, I told her I wanted a dragon. She designed, and where I wanted it. She designed one for me. The first time I saw it, wasn't quite how I wanted it, so I told her. She changed it up a little bit, and I think she might have changed it a little bit again, and then it was perfect. I loved it. She booked me in, and I had it done in 3 sittings. I had 3 2-hour sittings. One of them might have been slightly longer. I think the very first one, when she did the outline, I think that might have been the longest, so that could have been a 3-hour sitting, but I know I had it done in 3 sittings. And this was over 2018, 2019. So I'm going to show you this one now. So now this is going to be quite hard. So there is the head of my dragon and wings. And then his other wing stretches right out over my shoulder, and then it comes down his 2 legs, and then you've got his tail. So he's like an orangey yellowy colour, and then all the back stuff, this is all purple and pink. But yeah, so that's my biggest tattoo. Oopsie. If you're new and you're wondering what that is, it's not a birthmark. I had my gallbladder removed, and that is a scar from that. So yeah, so that is my dragon. That was done between 2018 2019. In 2020, she messaged me, or I saw online, can't quite remember. They had a trainee in, and you know, with trainees you get cheaper tattoos. And she was doing a lot of little ones for £20 each. And my niece messaged me to say that she was going in. So yeah, we went in together. They were walk-ins. So we went in and I said, right, make it worthwhile. Can I have 4 of the little ones, please? So she said, yes, fine. So on my wrist, not on my wrist. Oh yeah, it is. No, it's not on my wrist. I'm talking at my ass. So I had a butterfly. Now, don't judge. There was a problem with it. I will explain. But I paid £20 for my butterfly. I paid £20 for my flying piggy. So there is my flying pig. There is my butterfly. And I also paid to get... How am I going to do this? So that is just above my, on the back of my leg. So obviously you can see my foot. So I've got that one, and then I've got exactly the same one on the other leg. So these are my paw prints. One is for my dog Sasha, and one is who I lost, and she was my baby. And also my other one, which is, oh, there. So that's my other leg. That was Tia. Yes, I've still got a doggy, doo-doos. Yeah, there, that's Sasha. No, that's Gizmo. God, I'm getting all muddled. But he is still with us. So I had those two done in remembrance of our two doggies that we lost. So that is Sasha, was my Chihuahua. That was the last one that died. And Tia was a boxer, and she was the first dog we ever had. So yeah, but they healed up perfect. I didn't have an issue with them whatsoever. I wish I kept the photos of how bad these got, because these two, this one and the piggy, they got infected. Now, within, I think, 3 days of having them done, they were oozing. And the top layer of skin had just completely broken up. It was disgusting. And I remember going in and showing them, and I was fobbed off saying, oh no, it's still healing, you know, it's fine. Just carry on putting the cream on that, you know, I was using Babanthum ointment cream. And oh, I needed antibiotics in the end because they were that infected. I'm surprised they've healed as good as they did. Now this one has lost its colour in the wings. So this line of purple here, it should be like that, all of here. But all this bit just was eaten away by the infection. And then again, you can't really see it on it. But my piggy is very mottled. A lot of the pigment disappeared. So there's like my skin tone underneath with still some of the pink. So yeah, my piggy is very mottled, but luckily the outlines are okay. So I've never really, the lady did say, when I got back in touch again, and this was like, I don't know, a month or so later, and said, look, I've needed antibiotics, you know, what went wrong? Did I do anything wrong? And this must have happened to somebody else, because she said, oh, that girl is no longer with us now. You know, she doesn't work here anymore, the trainee. So, yeah, and she just said, you know, once it's fully healed, come back and we will touch it up, and any bits that are missing that have been eaten away by the infection, we will retouch it up free of charge. I never went back. And then they closed. The tattooist that did my big tattoos, she has now got her own tattoo parlour. So she's still going. But the owner of the shop, because she rented a chair in the shop, so the actual owner of that shop closed that shop down. I don't know what happened. But yeah, so that shop is no longer there anymore. But Alex, bless her, if I ever have any more tattoos, I will still go back to Alex. Because originally I asked her to do me a design of a big jellyfish, which I wanted at the bottom part of my leg, or my calf. But I just never got around to saving the money to have it done. So, yeah, that was those. And then the last one Alex did, before the actual shop shut, because these were done in 2020. And then in 2021, or maybe not long after, I don't know, I can't quite remember. But 2021, this was one of Alex's designs. She put it up on her Facebook page to say it was a tattoo that she wanted to do. And it was a floral wrist arm wrap. So when I saw it, I was just like, I really, really like that. Can I have that? So, yeah. So I paid to have that one. Can't quite remember how long these took. Now, pain. I'm not the greatest with pain, I will be honest with you. But to have all these tattoos, I can obviously tolerate some. The worst pain tattoo were the little paw prints on the back of my legs. Oh my days. I'm so glad I only went small because they were agony. They only took about 20 minutes to do each, but they were agony. Oh my God. Yeah, they really hurt. So for me, that was the worst for the pain. All the ones on my arms, never had an issue. Yes, it's uncomfortable, but it's always been bearable. When I've had my legs tattooed, my 2 thigh pieces, I kept getting twitchy legs. I don't know if anybody else has had that. But bless her, she wants you to lie really straight so she can, you know, concentrate on what she's doing. And oh my God, certain parts on my leg, whether it was a nerve or I don't know, but my leg just kept twitching. And I kept going, I'm really sorry. So that was a bit embarrassing. And I do feel sorry for her because obviously every time that was happening, she had to stop. Because otherwise I would have just had a lot of wonky lines. But yeah, so arms, never had any twitchiness, nothing like that. The back, fine. It was just the twitchiness in the legs, which was just involuntary twitching. It wasn't because it was painful or it was hurting. Well, it was hurting, but that wasn't why I was twitching. It was just, like, every now and again she would hit a certain part and my leg would just twitch. And yeah, so that was a bit embarrassing, but she was completely fine. I think that's it really for tattoos. In case anyone's interested, piercings. I had the bottoms of my ears done for the very first time when I was about 10. First time I got my ears pierced, so the very first holes. When I was 17. Oh, I can't remember. 17 or 18, I had my belly button pierced, which I'm 44 now, and I'm still left with the scar here. This is a scar from when I had my gallbladder removed. That is where they went in. This is where they pulled it out. Yeah, so that is a gallbladder removal scar under my belly button, but that is obviously where I had it pierced. So that was a long time ago. And then I had my ears done another 2 times. So I've actually got 3 holes in my ears, which I did wear all 3. I had studs in all 3 and then hoops and, you know, for a long time. But I've just gone back to just wearing 1 at the minute. No reason, it's just, yeah, just the 1. I did have my tongue pierced when I was about 24, 25, maybe. So again, this is going back a long time. Was it that long ago? No, it might not have been that long ago. Maybe I was about 30. I don't know, but I did have my tongue pierced. And I only had it in for about 6 weeks was all I could tolerate, because it got infected. Yeah, I remember going on antibiotics. He told me to take it out, but within a couple of days of taking the antibiotics, it felt so much better, so I just persevered. I kept it in. And then within less than a week of me stopping the antibiotics, it flared up again, tongue really swollen, and it just got to the stage where I just couldn't cope with it, so I took it out. And again, still left with the scar. So, yeah, so I did have my tongue pierced, but I didn't stick with it. And I would never do it again, because I remember it being agony after I had it done. For me, I remember it being agony. Not being able to eat properly, drink properly, very swollen. Yeah, I just wouldn't do that again. And then my nose, I had my nose, that was the last piercing I had done. I had that done about 10 years ago, maybe. And I do like my nose stud. I still got the black one in. I put a black one in when I went to a funeral a few weeks ago. And I just never changed it back. I wore a black dress and then I thought, oh, I'll put a black stud in. And I just never changed it over. So that is that. That is my tattoo and piercing journey. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And hit that subscribe button down below if you're not subscribed. This is a channel where I do a lot of try-ons. I do shopping hauls. I'm a bargain shopper, hence the name Donna Bargain Shopper Hobber. And yes, whenever I go out shopping, I show you what I bought. And 9 times out of 10, all the items are sale items. So I like you to know what is out there, what you can get for your money. And yeah. Right, I'm going to go. See if our rabbit has done any damage, left any poops anywhere. He's quite good. He does have a litter tray. So we are trying to house train him because we want him, he is an indoor rabbit. But at the minute, because he keeps eating and chewing holes in the carpets, we are having to shut him away when we're not around. But when we are around, he is out. It is just night times, and when we're at work, we do have to shut him in a cage. But I'm hoping he will maybe grow out of it. I don't know. Are there any tips on stopping a rabbit from chewing your carpet? He lives in my daughter's bedroom, and my daughter's carpet has got so many bell patches. So yeah, he has got toys in her room, and there's some in he's in a massive cage. And yeah, he just likes to chew carpet. So, but he's beautiful. I love him so much. And again, I'm really struggling to clip his claws because he's an indoor rabbit. They don't seem to wear down. He's only young. He's only 4 months old, so he is still a baby. But his mum is a continental giant. His dad is an English lop. So he's not going to be as big as his mum, but he is going to be bigger than his dad. Already, I think he's a bit bigger than his dad, and he's only 4 months old. But his paws are so fluffy. By the time I get the claw out from the fur to snip it, he's already, you know, pulled his foot away. So, but I really need to cut those claws because they are so sharp. As in one of my recent videos, you can't really see it now, caught me a good one. So, yeah. Right, anyway, I'm going to go. Any comments down below, please, would be great. Whether it's to do with tattoos, piercings, whether it's to do with my bunny rabbit. Yeah, any advice, greatly received. And yeah, I will see you soon in the next video.